This video is brought to you by Hellscape Trigger, written by yours truly. I recently published it on the Amazon, so if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description below. Okay, so, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. God, this game sucks. So I want to tell you guys a story of how this game's biggest champion turned into its biggest critic. Let's talk about how Suicide Squad killed the Justice League is an unwanted mess. What's funny, before typing the script to this video, I was actually going to title this video Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League is an Unorganized Good Time, but obviously that changed, so again, let's figure out why. Now, when this game was first revealed, I was kind of excited for it. An all new third-person shooter that you can play with your friends? Shoot, I'm down. But throughout the times we saw more of this game, there was red flag after red flag after red flag. But before we get into that, let's talk about the good. The gameplay of Kill the Justice League is repetitive, and now that I think about it, that's not good. Now, at the time of playing this, I hadn't played a new game since Spider-Man 2, and we know how long it took those guys to update that shit. So I went into this game with absolutely no bias. This is a live service grindy game, and I assume it would be time consuming. And so I played Kill the Justice League and had a blast. I enjoyed the story they attempted to tell. I really liked the movement, with my favorites being Harley and Boomerang. So that was the only good thing about the gameplay. Good God, what the fuck is this UI? As you're leveling up in this game, you're able to customize your character and make your own build depending on your playstyle, which is, it's cool. I was able to max out both Harley and Deadshot, and let me tell you, I nearly had an aneurysm looking at my screen. So many graphics and icons and damage numbers and explosions and objectives and ammos and pickup and all types of bull. There's just a lot going on. Wait, whose idea was this, bro? There's so much going on that I had a problem figuring out what ability was activated. I literally had no idea what was happening most of the time. The mission designs of Kill the Justice League were, let's be honest, they aight. Get your average capture the area missions, escort missions, collect items and put them in a truck or a bus, and that's, good God, that's it. Now again, with my mindset, I just needed a game to pass the time. Something just to keep me busy. I could have just uploaded YouTube videos, but that's besides the point. Now, these missions aren't horrible. They just suck. They're lackluster. The enemy types are the exact same. You might have that one brute that takes longer to kill. You have the smaller enemies that are easy to kill. The tanks where you have to shoot pieces of the tank before shooting the actual tank itself. And they tried to do this thing where some of the enemies would have the powers of the Justice League members, but the execution is just so fucking lazy. They're literally your average sniper enemy type that stays far away from the battlefield, and once you get close to them, they'll disappear even further. Like, guys, that shit's not fun. It's annoying, it's inconvenient, it just sucks. Speaking of the Justice League, let's talk about the boss battles. They all suck. The only one that's decent is Green Lantern's. Personally, I just like shooting and dodging all the constructs he made. Most of the boss battles consist of you dodging their attacks, using this counter mechanic to stun them, and then shooting them while they're stunned. I don't know who blueprinted these boss fights, but man, they aren't good. The Flash spends most of the fight zipping around, which yes, makes sense because he's the Flash, but it's not a clever mechanic, Like, how about you create animations of him throwing you around, or maybe changing your position because he's messing with you? Just instead of him switching positions like those stupid sniper enemies. Batman's boss battle might be the worst. In the trailer, they're constantly teasing how we're finally going to see this fear toxin Batman from the end of Arkham Knight, which is already a dope concept. Now, towards the beginning of the game, you encounter the Cape Crusader as you're thrown into an Arkham-like stealth mission, except this time you're the one being hunted. This is this is the best part of the entire game. If you played the old Arkham Origins multiplayer back in the day, this is a similar concept to that. So let me ask you this, Rocksteady. Why didn't we get a boss fight like this? Imagine having to rely on your senses or your teammates' voices to navigate through a fear toxin hellscape, trying to outsmart Batman. In the actual Batman boss fight, you're forced to move left, right, jump over obstacles while you shoot at Batman, who just stands there. Superman's boss fight is just the Flash's, except he throws things at you. And the Brainiac boss fight is just the Flash with a reskin. I kid you not, this nigga turns into the Flash towards the end of the game. That's it. How creative. Man, this game really did shit the bed, didn't it? Now, like I said before, there are a few things that I do like about this game. Another thing, well, kinda, is the story. I mean, it's a solid story for the most part. I feel like we get a very accurate depiction of the squad. The chemistry is somewhat there, and there are a few funny moments. But you know I can't talk about the story without addressing the elephant in the room. Arkham Batman's death. Now at first when I was high on this game, I didn't really find his death to be that bad. Looking at it from the squad standpoint, who are still villains, why would they give him a heroic death? But you know, for a game called Kill the Justice League, all the Justice League members get really boring deaths. I kid you not when I say literally every evil member dies from a gunshot. Why not give them over-the-top comedic deaths? I mean, this game gives me a dark comedy vibe. Why not have a character explode or melt? Just something other than a gunshot. How does Wonder Woman have the coolest death and you don't even fight her? The ending of Kill the Justice League is just that, an ending. There's nothing significant that happens. Instead, the story literally ends to set up this stupid live update crap they have. Did you guys forget about the $70 initial game that people invested in? That's like having Spider-Man 2 end literally right after they defeat Venom to set up a shitty online mode. No resolution, no lesson learned, literally no sort of payoff. Continuing this point of how bland the game is, let's talk about the weapon selection. In Kill the Justice League, you're given the option of 5 weapon types: an assault rifle, a shotgun, a submachine gun, a pistol, and a sniper rifle. I'm 1000% sure I'm not alone when I say this is the most boring choice of weapons about a game where you kill the Justice League. Can you believe there's no kryptonite gun? You guys realize you do fight Superman, right? All the guns in this game are just that. They're guns. Now, you do have the ability to unlock weapons based on DC villains like Bizarro, Bane, and Scarecrow, but they feel like cosmetics mostly. This game completely dropped the ball when it came to creativity. Most of the creative villain-based weapons are just visuals. You don't really feel like these are weapons that villains would use. Like with a game that has a Sunset Overdrive similar movement system, should also share the weapons, right? Like, why not make a mist-like weapon that sprays fear toxin and probably has the enemies attack each other due to fear? An actual kryptonite weapon. Maybe a batarang gun that shoots like a boomerang? I don't know, just something better than the we got. Now at the beginning of this video, I mentioned how I was this game's biggest champion. Every video I made on TikTok defending this game went viral. And again, I considered this game to be an actual good time. But all of that changed. It really changed. About a couple months ago, Kill the Justice League released their first season of their live updates. Rocksteady announced that this season would include new game modes, an all-new map, new boss fights, enemy types, weapons, just everything to keep players infatuated with the game. They also announced their latest member to the squad, a new playable character, the Joker. So you know me being the supportive champion of this game I decided to give it a chance. I went ahead and completed the end game and got most of the special weapons in preparation. But what these goofs at Rocksteady forgot to tell you is that your level is immediately reset back to 0. So all those countless hours of playing the same repetitive missions over and over led to absolutely nothing. Speaking of playing the same repetitive missions, the missions in this new season are the exact same. Literally nothing different. Also, remember when I mentioned they'd have a new world you can explore? Well, they didn't tell you that it's literally the exact same map as the endgame, except there's Joker bullshit scattered around. This already sounds pretty lame, right? Don't worry, I haven't even gotten to the worst part. So with this new season, just as I mentioned before, added a new member to the squad, the Joker. Now what these goofs didn't mention is that you have to unlock him by completing the new mission of the season. They literally failed to mention the fact that he wouldn't be available at the start of the game and you'd have to grind to unlock him. Which, don't get me wrong, wouldn't be bad. I mean, it's a live service grindy game. That's why I enjoyed it for the first couple of weeks it came out. But why would I waste time playing the exact same repetitive boring missions over and over and over and over and over again? That's boring! I play video games to have fun. This isn't fun. But don't worry, they knew players wouldn't like grinding countless hours with the same missions, so they found it in their hearts to give you the opportunity to unlock them early, with the convenient price of $10. So essentially, if you don't want to play these repetitive missions, you have an option to spend money on this so-called free character. What the f***? You know, say what you want about Marvel's Avengers, at least they gave you the character at the start of each update. Why would I want to play as the Joker during the endgame? Not to mention, there's no new story elements like the ending of the initial story alluded to. There's only like 2 to 3 cutscenes, and it's essentially the endgame except with 2 minor changes. And so, this is the moment where I stop supporting this game. They essentially swindled their entire fan base, and their greed pushed them away. All to the point where there's only about 100 people still playing this game. Kill the Justice League is another example of corporate greed and another financial failure. I don't see this game making a comeback or ever being relevant again. This game has single-handedly ruined the legacy of the beloved Arkham games by shameless murdering the main character of the games. Well, actually, hey, wait. At least Rocksteady's making up for it with this new Arkham Shadows game. I mean, it looks pretty dope. I wonder if... You gotta be fucking kidding me.